the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, has warned that Ghana may face power crisis from next year. The caution was contained in a report released by the group. According to ACEP, the danger the power sector faces in 2017 could be attributed to a potential disruption in gas supply. The report, which was titled Beyond 2016 Elections, Energy Sector Priorities, further warned that fuel supply insecurities is likely to continue in 2017. It pointed out that the new administration must tackle as a matter of urgency challenges in the power sector, since power supply from the nation's hydropower resources are still dim. All right, so let's go to the phone lines now and speak to the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Dr. Mohamed Amin. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity.
The current administration gave enough assurance that the power supply seemed to have been resolved. How come your report seemed to be saying otherwise?
Well, I mean, if you look at the date of publication of the report, you will notice that this report was published 2 weeks to the election.
Okay.
And so we were assessing the energy sector outlook for 2017 and beyond, and therefore advising which party likely, came out the winner of the election that will form the next government. Will have to consider a number of options to ensure that the power sector does not degenerate. The issues we looked at, included generation capacity, but we also matched that against demand.
Okay.
For instance, at the moment, we are doing around 1,700 from all the sources that are available. I'm talking about 1,700 megawatts.
Megawatts, yes.
And also, we import from Ivory Coast an average of around 100 to 150 megawatts. Now, going into 2017, we are told that there is a 10 to 12% increase in demand every year. And so if you factor the growth in demand for power in 2017, then you are talking about the need to add a generation capacity of between 300 and 400 megawatts, which we don't have at the moment.
Okay.
Also, we have indicated in the report that if Ghana came out of the election successfully, that will boost Ghana's image and the attractiveness of Ghana to investors.
But, Doc,
and so we anticipate that there will be increase in investment, there will be increase in economic activity, and that will also boost demand further up. And so if you match the generation capacity against the potential demand, we are likely to have some imbalances. But having said this, there is another issue we raised, which I think is even more important, and this has to do with fuel security.
Right.
At the moment, you know that Nigeria is resumed the supply of gas. But gas supply from Nigeria is erratic. And also because we haven't been paying our debt, they can stop at any time.
Right.
Secondly, we are likely to have gas coming from 10. But 10 gas will just be around 40 million standard cubic feet. However, because of the decision to permanently move the FPSO Kwame Nkrumah, production from Jubilee will suffer. Currently 90 million standard cubic feet. And so if the works on the FPSO starts, which is expected to be from April, May, June, then for 3 months, you are going to lose 90 million standard cubic feet of gas. and only get 40 million from 10 to substitute that.
Doc, clearly...
And that gives you a deficit of 50 million standard cubic feet of gas. And so we are saying that unless we have an alternative that will ensure that gas supply, when interrupted, can be addressed, then we will also have fuel challenges that will also affect production of
all right,
power.
Doc, briefly, the current administration seemed to have lost this year's election, according to many, because of the power crisis. Now, for the new administration coming in, if we are to paint this picture to them, no matter how real it is, that calls for concern. Issues of debt and then our inability to pay Nigeria for the constant gas supply has also come up for discussion severally. Some saying that government's inability to pay was the reason why they were not supplying the gas. How do you, in a very brief statement, think the NPP can immediately address this?
I think that we made some proposals in the report, and we did it without regards to whichever party was going to win the election. We said, for instance, that unless we address the financial challenges of VRA, as far as their, indebtedness to creditors are concerned, both internal creditors and external creditors, we will never be able to position VRA to be able to add generation capacity and then also to be able to procure fuel. At the moment, government is supporting them to procure fuel. But that is not sustainable. And therefore, we need to position VRA to be able to be financially viable.
Right.
The other issue we think needs to be addressed is the fuel sources that we need to look at. Let me tell you, for instance, Ameri consumes only gas.
Okay.
And Asogli also consumes only gas. Okay? So if Ameri is out 250 and Asogli 200 is out, you are talking about 450 megawatts just for lack of gas. And this is why we think that the fuel sources needs to be looked at immediately.
Okay.
I am happy that government, through Parliament, has approved a project for an LNG facility to be put up in Ghana around Tema.
Okay.
If that one is completed within schedule, we may be able to address the gas supply issue by bringing in LNG for power generation. But until these two issues of financial challenges of VRA and the fuel security are addressed, whichever parties in government will face these problems in the energy sector.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed Amin, for your time. He's the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Energy Policy.